Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Soap Maker's Tale. And I am so excited because I am sitting here with the one and only Derek Hodges of Essential Depot. Welcome to the broadcast, Derek. How are you?
I'm equally excited to be sitting with the one and only Zakia.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, Essential Depot has been in the soap and cosmetic industry forever. Can you share a brief overview of Essential Depot and its mission within the soap and skincare industry?
Great question. I started at Essential Depot 15 years ago, and it was a pretty simple mission. Provide the best products at the best price with the best customer service. And that was it. And we only had one product. Lye, sodium hydroxide.
Wow.
And that's what caused me to start Essential Depot. In my garage, which is the old tell,
The old tale. Yep.
until this day is still the same mission. I would only add that the fact that providing the best product at the best price is the easiest part of the jigsaw. The biggest part of the jigsaw is providing the best service. And that's what we've been doing. And service is really tough. We're not happy unless every customer is. And that's it. So that was the mission, still the mission, but it's been 15 years, a lot's gone on.
Wow. So you said you started 15 years ago and it was just the one product of lye. What made you double down on lye? Because I wouldn't think in my head, oh, well, let me sell some lye. What made you do that?
Sister lost her job and she needed to know how I was making all this money on Google with all these AdSense words, because my day in 15 years ago, I'd already had many businesses, many experiences, and I kind of slowed down a bit, and I only really wanted to promote health on Google. So I had many blogs on Google, and I was making enough to have my golf cart, my Sirius satellite radio, and 15 years ago, 7,000, 8,000 a month from Google. But my sister lost her job, and she wanted to come to Florida and find out what she's going to do. And the weirdest thing was I didn't know what I could get my sister doing except blogging, the same as I was. And I looked at all my blogs, and the one blog that had the most interest was about sodium hydroxide. So my sister flew from Arizona. She came to our house and she wanted to know, what am I going to do? How do you blog? How do you make the money? So she did liedepot.com.
Yeah.
Took us 2 weeks and she bought up liedepot.com. And suddenly I had all these inquiries for lye. And my sister knew how to do blogs. And the problem was, what was I going to do with all these inquiries? I rang up this biggest chemical company in the world and I said, can I buy lye? And I bought lye. And I did what I never thought I'd do again, which was actually start buying product and selling product, which is what I did in previous lives.
Wow.
Anyway, so we started with lye 15 years ago at a conference in Miami, which is where I met, by the way, Dr. Kevin Dunn. He's like, what are you doing here with just lye and a bunch of walking sticks? And I became great friends at that first conference 15 years ago with Dr. Kevin Dunn, anyway, so we started selling lye. And I bought up Essential Depot. And then it was all, well, this is crazy having one product when there's all these other products. So anyway, that's how I started, because my sister lost her job.
Wow. And you parlayed that by looking at what was going on your websites and, oh, this one's getting all this traffic, and you just let her blog about it. And
She
essentially
did one site, liedepot.com.
idepot.com. Wow.
Anyway, that's a long time ago.
So you mentioned something about best products, best price, and the best service, right? And so that brings me to the question about how Essential Depot supports makers and small businesses. Because yes, we need great products. Yes, we need the best price, but that is a distinguishing factor with Essential Depot with the service. So how do you think your overall mission helps to support makers and small business owners?
We bring the best product with the best price. That in itself is a milestone that most other companies can't meet. Our lye is the best lye in the world. It's made in America. We try and buy in America. Our essential oils are all tested. So we guarantee the best product at the best price. So as a bedrock, that's a very simple principle. Customer service is if a customer is not happy with the product, we make them happy. Okay, the bigger thing is after that, it took us about 5 years to build the business to about 5 million a year from 15 years ago to about 10 years ago. But then you start trying to figure out what are you going to do to really make a difference going forwards. And that's what we've been doing for the last 10 years, because those are the three principles that most of my competitors can't even handle by themselves.
Right. One thing I think that sets Essential Depot apart is that Greener Life Club, because not only are you offering the best products at the best prices, but it even gets better with those prices with the Greener Life Club. So, where did the Greener Life Club come from?
The Green Life Club was started with a simple principle of providing information, forming a membership club. But the thing that's driven the club is the discount. And I hate to say that. I would like to think that the biggest driver of most of my customers is their brand image, the distinguishing factors. But in the end, for 90% of customers, it comes down to price. So the biggest selling element of the Green Life Club when I started it several years ago was the 20% discount. So when a person becomes a member of the Green Life Club, they got a 20% discount. So that was the biggest distinguishing factor, and that's what built for the first 20,000 memberships we sold. I would say 90% were because of price. I myself wanted to establish more than that, so price is the biggest driver up front. But in the last 3 or 4 years, I've worked with Dr. Kevin Dunn, Dr. Mark Hyde, my wife, and we developed what we call Greener Life certification. So I wanted to separate the people that just wanted to operate on price, which I've got no problem with. I mean, that's pure capitalism. But you can buy a product made in China because of price and it wears out. Quality endures when the price has been forgotten. And our Greener Life Club was all about those 4 principles. That was ethical commerce. So I wanted to try and somehow get my customers to buy into the same mission that I had, that I felt that I wanted to make happen, which was Greener Life certification. What does that mean? It means basically you believe in the principles of the Greener Life diamond, and you're going to establish yourself with a product that distinguishes you with the values of the diamond. And that's what we've done with the Greener Life certification. I've got customers that I've taken on board. They purchased from us because of price, product, and service, but they've actually believed in the principles, and their revenues have gone from 20,000 to 500,000 a year. So basically, Greener Life certification we've introduced, and that's what we're introducing at our conference in Tampa. And we have a very loyal segment of our customers that are not just shopping on price, they're shopping on principle, and they're shopping on the fact that everything you purchase and what you purchase actually can make a difference.
Yeah.
If you believe in the principles of the diamond, as long as people can shop on that basis, if you're Greener Life certified, it'll make a difference. But we still provide the best product at the best price. For the Greener Life Club members that want to shop just on price, they get 20% off. But we've got a whole new group of customers that are coming to our conference, who will be coming to our conference every year, that are actually shopping more on brand image and the fact that being a Greener Life Club member and being Greener Life certified.
So if I'm hearing that something that sets me apart, and something that you said in here is quality endures when price fiddles out. And I don't know if I got your quote right, but when you're mixing that brand image and you're seeing a very strong brand image around Essential Depot certification, the vision that you have is much bigger than the maker. It's those principles in that diamond.
Well, it's kind of bigger than that because my wife and I have traveled all over the world to bring in the best essential oils,
Yeah.
the best butters, the best oils. So most of the other companies are dealing with products that don't come specifically from the third world country. The ladies, the best example I can give is in Africa. Our shea butter is made in Wa, which is in northwest Ghana. Most companies pay the women that pick the nuts and make the shea. And I'll give you some numbers. Right now, about $1.50 a kilo is what most of my competitors will pay the women that pick the nuts, who melt them, who basically they roast the nuts, they take the shea, and they put it in the containers. I believe in supporting people in those third world countries, so I want to cut out all those middlemen. We go to the actual growers, and we have established a warehouse in northwest Ghana where we're able to support the women and then pay them 20 to 30 to 40% more than anybody else. And our shea butter is the best quality in the world because they pick the nuts and they make sure it is. I have a warehouse manager, in fact, Gifty Dunn, who used to be with Baraka Shea Butter, just joined us as our African ambassador. So just to short circuit your question, providing the best product at the best price is something we took care of 10 years ago. The service we took care of in a way of making sure every customer was happy 10 years ago. But now we're spreading the word that to be Green Life certified means that we want to support the women, the men, the people at the other end. We don't want to support all these middlemen and these shipping companies that make a bunch of money. For instance, the shea butter again, getting it directly from the people that pick it, having Alfred, our warehouse manager, provides the women with the best possible environment he can, because we pay them more than anybody else. And the world is something that you just got to keep it where you connect with the people that make the product. You bring the product as efficiently as you can to the end market, and you cut out all the middlemen that really don't provide any value.
Yeah.
And the Central Depot tries to connect the customer with the original manufacturer, and at the same time practice the principles of the Green Life Diamond. And it's working, but only for about 10% of our customers. 90% of our customers only shop on price. They'll go to eBay, they'll go to Amazon. That's fine. What we are bringing to our annual conference is the customers that believe in the Green Life principles, which is actually the biggest. The 4 quadrants, for me, is the fair trade quadrant. So that's what we're trying to do. And we're doing it, but we're happy to also take care of the other 90% of our customers. But the customers that shop on Essential Depot, that are Greener Life Club members and Greener Life certified, we're doing very, very well. And we're looking forward to seeing them in Tampa. We're going to look forward to seeing you in Tampa.
Yay, can't wait to get there. So you hit on something about the shopping on price. And people are always talking about the supply chain and the prices are fluctuating. And I want to go to the trends that you're currently seeing in the soap and skincare industry and how Essential Depot is adapting to, or actually, it sounds like you're driving some of those trends by going directly to the origin of those products. So, what are you seeing in terms of trending for the industry?
Well, I don't know about all my competitors. They still are going to some of the shows I used to go to.
Mhm.
I mean, I would spend a lot of money supporting long established shows. We're doing our own show.
Right.
We're not doing it with other vendors. We're doing it with our customers. And we're doing our relationship with you with the virtual summits.
Yeah.
So we're providing our customers with the best product at the best price. And one of the reasons is we're not wasting $100,000 at a trade show where the person organizing the trade show is bringing competitors to do an exhibit. We want to pass those savings to our customers. So we're no longer spending the money we used to spend. We're doing it with our own show. There's kind of a short circuit there, but we gave up doing the Soap Guild show. Our last Soap Guild show was in Kansas City.
Oh.
I think 3 or 4 years ago. That was one of the several shows we used to support. We're not doing, there's a show in Kentucky. There's all these shows. We're doing our own shows now because our customers don't want us wasting money to be at a show with our competitors.
Right.
So the combination of your virtual summit with the shows that we do, and there's only one other show we do with you, and the other show is the Lavender show. I'm sure you've got to. Anyway, this is just cutting out unnecessary overhead and passing the savings to my customers.
Understood. And I'm glad you answered that way because I was going to ask the question, what inspired Essential Depot to become a sponsor? But I think you answered that for Handcrafted Live. And so what was
What do you mean? What inspired us to
what
be a
inspired,
sponsor? Well, a sponsor of you.
yes, of
Oh,
Handcrafted.
I was going to make your show. Well, that's a whole different thing because what inspired me to do that was you.
Oh,
You're a firecracker. You know the social media market. You're taking care of people all over the world now that want to become potential soap makers, handcrafted cosmetic makers, getting into this industry, which, as you know, is enormous. I mean, there's 300,000 companies around America, mainly owned by women. You can call them micro businesses, but they make soaps and cosmetics. You see them at the craft fairs, you see them at the flea markets, but their average revenue is about 100,000 a year. That makes it a $30 million business. But they're typically working out of their kitchen. They don't want to spend a couple of hundred a month on a shopping cart and spend every year a lot of money to go to a trade show and have to struggle with all these other people at the same show with vendors that are charging too high prices. So the combination of your virtual summits and Ellen's Lavender Conference, which I'm sure you covered in other seminars. So I just think those three shows every year, Ellen, your virtual show and our yearly show, we got it covered.
So my other question is, how do you think makers, because you were talking about a lot of them are making it in their kitchens, some of them are making about $100,000 a year. How can they best utilize what Essential Depot has to offer? Right? Because the certification is more than just a certification. There's some benefits that go along with that.
We're introducing at the Tampa show our portal system that allows us to partner with our customers with some of their best products and actually put them on the Essential Depot server, our shopping cart, and get orders for them. Several years ago, when we started the Green Life Club, we would give a free web page and a free drying tray, a soap drying tray. We had over 3,000 of our customers put up web pages, and the end result of the web page was a redirection to their shopping cart. So think about this. Over the last 7 years, of those 3,000 people, 60 or 70% of them set up, whether it was a Shopify shopping cart, whether it was a Wix shopping cart, and they ended up not keeping them because it was costing them $200 or $300 a month just to have a shopping cart. So they dropped those shopping carts, and they are basically just on Etsy, or they're just on eBay, or they're just doing craft fairs. So now at the Tampa show, we're going to be able to show them how we will give them a free web page, which is on our server. We run the credit cards for them on our credit card processing. We do the shipping on our FedEx account, and we mean their overhead is zero for having a website. And that way, when we can build them up as to a 50 or 60 or 100,000 a year company, then they can afford to get their own shopping cart. So we're providing them with a stepping stone. But that's because we've had the experience with over 3,000 of them that couldn't afford to maintain their own shopping cart. So what we're doing in Tampa is redefining the handmade soap and cosmetics market by providing the tools for them to step forward with their best product. If we can help them sell the best of their best product, then they'll be able to afford their own shopping cart. So they're going to have UPC codes. They're going to have insurance. They're going to have discounted shipping. We can ship a product from Florida to San Francisco at half the price of anybody else who's just starting their business because of our FedEx contracts and our UPS contracts. We're the biggest shipper in Central Florida. So we're trying to share our experience to help them get started, but then push them off the ledge, like spread their wings of a chick.
Baby.
Start the baby chick. That's what we're trying to do.
Got it.
And we're doing it, and we're introducing all of that at the Tampa conference with you. And we're springboarding with your virtual event, which is coming up.
Yes, indeed. And that's incredible because what you're demonstrating is you're constantly holding true to the vision and the mission of the best products, the best price, and the best service. By you having those three, and it's showing through as your company continues to evolve, that's what you're bringing forth to the handcrafted community. Yes, you're getting the best products, but we're also setting you up to be very, very successful. That's also coming through as well with the Essential Depot Greener Life Club, but then also the Greener Life certification. It's so much more than soap, right? It's so much more than cosmetics. It's a movement. So that's pretty exciting for sure. So
it's also the people like yourself, like Dr. Kevin Dunn, like Dr. Mark Hyde, like Dave Perdue, the same people I've been doing business with for a decade. You're newer. It's been, 3 or 4 years with you?
yeah.
But in the end, you can only tell a person by the character and their honesty and what they're trying to do. And you, and actually all of us, Dr. Kevin Dunn, my wife, everybody is actually just trying to help people build a business in the soap and cosmetics industry, which is a fantastic industry.
And be
So,
at it. And
yeah.
you're leading me to my next question on what advice would you give to aspiring makers who are trying to turn their passion into a successful business, right? So there's those people that are starting in the kitchen, but then there's those that are they're turning a profit. They're kind of successful on Etsy. What advice would you give them? What mistakes are you seeing them make?
Stick stick to your original principles. Rely on word of mouth. Make sure that you provide the customer service because your customer will become your best agent. And word of mouth, even though we're in the internet age, word of mouth is still the biggest thing. And the thing about the internet with Facebook and all the different platforms, we use all the platforms. Word of mouth is amplified by an order of magnitude, as is negative comments. But if you have a good product and you have a brand image, you can spread it, but stick to your principles and just keep pushing. And in the end, build it and the customers will come and it will. But you've got to stick to your principles. You don't not refund the person. Don't do anything. I've had customers that fall into problems because they can't ship a product because they didn't have it in stock.
Hmm.
And yet, if they had had that product in stock, they would have 10 more people giving them references. So it's like you've got to maintain a great business. You've got to have batch control. You've got to make sure the quality stays the same. And we're sharing a lot of our batch control technique. We practice batch control internally, and we share that with our Green Life certified customers to help them make sure that their product stays top quality. So but basically stick to your original principles and take care of your customers, and they will take care of you.
Kim had done a wonderful presentation at the Lavender Conference on batch control. I'm hoping that she's going to be sharing that at Tampa because people were blown away at just not how simple, because it can become complex, but she had a really unique way of making it easy to understand. And then also a process that people could follow so that they could implement it back in their own shop. Will she be presenting that in Tampa?
She's going to be presenting that, and not only is she going to present it, she's going to give them access to the form that allows them to do their own batch control.
Get out of here. That's incredible. So you guys want to definitely get to Tampa because just getting your standard operating procedures and your batch control in order would be worth the trip. Aside from the Essential Depot parties and the food, that's also another added benefit. So I do have one final question, and that is why do you think events like your event in Tampa, you mentioned the Lavender Conference, and then, of course, Handcrafted Live, why are they important for the growth and development of the maker community as a whole?
Well, our conference was born out of not doing the conferences we used to do in the soap and cosmetics industry, which is our conference in Tampa. And Ellen's conference, 90% of our essential oil sales are lavender essential oil.
Yeah.
And essential oils is something that we've cut our teeth on many years ago. And Dr. Kevin Dunn GC tests every oil. So one thing I have in common with Ellen is she used to do another big conference similar to the conferences we used to do, and she gave up on those big conferences. And now she's doing her own conference specifically for lavender farmers. So she's doing it for lavender farmers, and we're doing it for soap and cosmetic makers. But 90% of our customers use lavender oil, which ties into her conference. So in the middle between our two conferences is your virtual conference, which actually can spread the word for her conference and our conference. So my recommendation to my customers is just come to our 3 conferences every year, forget all the other conferences, save your money, make the best products and live up to what you first set up as your product you're making and push your brand image. And when you come to our conference, you're going to learn from Dr. Mark Hite how to build your brand image. You're going to learn from Dr. Kevin Dunn how to make sure your products are safe. Make sure you use essential oils that are GCMS tested because most of our competitors don't test every batch. So basically, you're getting the tools for the trade. And Dave Perdue, who's our trademark attorney expert, he'll register your trademark at a significant discount because you're a Green Life Club member. And trust me, Dave and I have been friends for a long time, and he's done several trademarks for me, and he's actually offering those trademark services to the customers. So
Do you have any special offers or promotions that attendees of Handcrafted Live can look forward to?
Any promotion you want to do for your attendees, I'm willing to do it. So just let me know, Zakia, what that is, and I'll do it.
Okay, I'll pick my jaw up off the floor, but we will definitely have that. But you got to come to the conference in order to get that. First off, I just want to say, Derek, thank you so very much for number one, jumping right at the plate to say, yes, we will absolutely support, but more so, what you're doing with the Greener Life membership, the Greener Life certification, and you're saying, I see all the pieces that would help to make you successful: the web page, the shipping, the shopping cart, the payment processing, even the trademark. You know how many people ask about trademarks? So the fact that you're going to have something like that available at the Tampa conference is amazing. And I just want to say thank you for that. As a small maker in the industry for now, small for now, a small maker in the industry, for Essential Depot stepping up and being essential to all of us handcrafters.
Thank you, Zakia. I'm looking forward to year after year, your virtual conference and building up our customers with the experience that we can bring to bear for them and help them. So hopefully they'll come to your conference. We're sold out, by the way. Our Tampa conference is sold out. We've got our next year's conference already booked in Cincinnati. If you go to our webpage and you try and book a ticket for our Tampa conference, it's going to send you to the conference next year in Cincinnati. So grab your seats while you can. And thank you, Zakia, for being our social media expert. And you are amazing.
Thank you very much, Derek. And tell Kim I said hello. Until next time, everybody, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so that you do not miss our next episode. And a special thank you to Derek Hodges of Essential Depot. That's it for this week's episode of A Soap Maker's Tale. I'm your host, Zakia Ringgold, and I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you at Handcrafted Live. If you haven't registered yet, be sure to get your tickets at 2024.handcraftedlive.com, and links will be listed in the show notes. Again, that's 2024.handcraftedlive.com.